Hey guys, it's Swiss, and today's video is going to be in regards of Snake's recovery, some advanced techniques and tutorials on how to recover back to the stage safe and sound with Snake, because that is one of his disadvantages. So we'll be going over that. I have a tier list we'll go over as well for characters you should recover high with, some you should recover low with, and some in the middle as well. So making sure you mix it up and stuff like that. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. That way it helps me out and it helps you out by actually knowing when the next video comes out and so on and so forth. I do have a Twitch, it's in the description down below, and my other social media platforms. So with my Twitch, if you want to play with me live when it comes to Smash or any other game, if I might be streaming a different game, go ahead and go for it as well. I would greatly appreciate that. But anyways, let's go on into the video and enjoy the show. So anyone that plays this game, plays Snake or plays against Snake, should know that Snake's biggest disadvantage is going to be in the air. His Cypher does have a little bit of armor, which as long as the aerial attack or special attack that he gets hit with isn't above 8 or 9%. Again, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that by commenting down below. I believe it is 8 to 9%. But as long as it isn't higher than that, you won't get knocked out of the Cypher. Now granted, if you get knocked out of the Cypher, you can up B again, but it does kind of put you in, it could put you in a worse situation than where you were in the first place. Now Snake does have a lot of options recovering, and that's what we're going to go over. So he has many tools than you think he would have. So we're going to go over that and kind of go over going high, low, options, so on and so forth. So recovering high with Snake, in my opinion, is one of the best things to do, especially because his aerial momentum and his movement is pretty good as far as recovering high. So like as an example, he can B-reverse a grenade, he can B-reverse 2 grenades, he could reverse B-reverse a grenades, he could hold a grenade and not B-reverse at all on the way down, he could B-reverse and then air dodge, he could B-reverse 2 grenades and do an air dodge, or B-reverse into a fast fall back air. There's plenty of options when it comes down to which route you want to take. It's just all dependent on your opponent, where they're at on the stage, and that's primarily what you want to look at. So those are some of the primary options that you'll see as far as coming down from the top with Snake as far as the grenades go. You could also hold shield right when you reach the ground. That'll cause a shield there. You can also do a sidestep if you time it right. So just in case you don't want to keep shielding, if they keep grabbing you on the way down, you can just do a sidestep instead of doing a shield. Now, some things are good and some things might not be too well as far as coming down with Snake. As an example here, coming down with Snake, I'm starting on the right side around here, around this middle area in front of Peach. But if I do a double B reverse, it kind of puts me around that same spot where I started at. So you might not always want to do a double B reverse. If you B reverse though and your opponent chases you this way, then you B reverse again, that would be good because then you're out of the way. So again, it's really all dependent on what your opponent is doing, if they're chasing you, if they're not, and how they're actually trying to punish you when you're coming down from the top. And you kind of have to go from there. And obviously it's going to depend on what character your opponent is using, because certain characters can jump higher than others or have long extended aerials, or they have homing moves and stuff like that. So you really want to notice that as well. I highly recommend, just if you don't know the matchup and you're playing against someone, I would normally start high, and then depending on if I'm getting punished or not, I would make adjustments from there. So the next thing on topic is going to be Snake C4. You can also come down with the C4, and most opponents will respect the C4 because it's a potential KO move. Unlike grenades, it's stronger on knockback, it does more damage, and all in all, it's something you don't want to get hit with. So when it comes down to the C4, there are a lot of things you could do the same way as the grenades, such as you can be reversed by itself, you can be reversed and then with a grenade, you can be reversed with 2 grenades, or you can be reversed and just go down with a nade without be reversing. Now again, the combinations that I listed on the grenade side can also be done on the C4 side, like C4, fastball, back air, and so on and so forth. Now, I primarily would like to come down with a C4 and then detonate it if they are rushing me a lot. So it'll make them one, respect the C4, and then 2, if you keep doing it and they keep falling for it, they're going to start to play more safe, so they're just going to give you your space when you actually come down. So you could just come down with the C4 and then just detonate in front of you to actually just actually make them stop from coming in, and then they'll give you that space that you need to actually land safely. And then at that point, once you're on the ground, you just go back into camping or whatever you normally would do. So some things I like to do with the C4 is if I'm recovering high and they respect the C4, I'll just fall with it. Or again, you can detonate it if they're coming in too hot. Or you could just, if you're in a tight spot, you can like drop the C4 and then go for the ledge. That's like if they're kind of like around here, like around this area, and they're waiting for you, then I would drop the C4 and then just go for the ledge. Or you can just detonate it and then go back, air dodge back on stage. So again, there's a lot of options when it comes down to coming down with the C4 in general. Now, one of the biggest things to go over here is what if you're recovering low and you don't make it? You can C4 yourself and be able to up B again and come back on stage that way. Now, it's also clear that you can also tech the stage and then up B again and then air dodge back up onto the ledge. So that's one thing for sure that you guys should know too. At a certain percent though, once you hit that amount, you're just gonna end up killing yourself, which is normally like 140, 150, I would say. I believe it's all dependent on how low you are on the screen. See, so like 140 killed me full screen, so you kind of just want to make sure that you're low enough. Also dependent on your percentage as well and how far you are from the stage. You could actually just create a non-techable situation and not be able to actually tech the stage, and then you won't be able to come back. So that's one thing's for certain. C4 recovery should be done when you're not going to make it to the ledge, when you're not going to make it out of the up B. So that's when you want to use it really. You could also mind game your opponent. If you're like way down here, let's say, and they're waiting for you, you can cancel the cipher early and then just up B again. Because you don't want to give them the amount of time that they need to line everything up and then try to get the spike or aerial out of you to hit you with. So you could just also do that, you know, just cancel this up B early and then go do another up B. I normally DI away from the stage. I generally don't DI forward, because if you DI forward, experienced players are going to be looking for DIing forward. That's what they're going to be looking for. So I normally tend to DI away, that way they can't chase me out. So another move that you can use while coming down is a Nikita. Now Nikita was more of a brawl thing back then. People would do a Nikita and that would have the missile come down onto the stage and kind of protect you there. It's not really used too much in this game because there's a lot of end lag when it comes to the Nikita. Nikita should probably be used when you're super high up, I would say. But other than that, it is a move nonetheless, and some people do it, but it's also a rare thing to see almost these days. So with the Nikita, you could just do a regular Nikita and come down with that. You could do a regular Nikita and then B reverse a grenade. You could do a regular Nikita and B reverse 2 grenades. You could do the Nikita and then B reverse C4 nade, and then you could do 2 Nikitas. So again, there's not really much to say about the Nikita because there's a lot of end lag when it comes to the move. I would only suggest using it if you were super high. Snoop Dogg! And other than that though, I don't really suggest using it any other time besides that. Alright, so last thing here before we move on to the tier list is recovering with air dodge, back air, and down air. So with air dodge, it's really useful if your opponent is chasing you a lot in the air or using a homing move such as PK Thunder or Snake's Missile if you're in a Ditto situation. But you would want to fast fall and do a neutral air dodge, and that's again a neutral air dodge, not a directional air dodge, because there is quite a difference if you did a directional air dodge and a neutral air dodge. It feels like there's more landing lag as well if you do a directional air dodge. Look how long it takes for when he lands from a directional air dodge to do to actually pull up shield. It's like a second, if anything, it feels like. And then a fast fall air dodge, the shield visually looks like it comes out faster. So another thing you could do with air dodges is that you can use your directional air dodge to actually come back on the stage. And as far as that goes, you could also shift your momentum, so you can just do a directional air dodge out the way, or even out of a B reverse. I don't really recommend this too much because the landing lag an air dodge has when you do a directional air dodge. Some Snake players, they do it in the middle of the screen, and that provides quite an amount of landing lag, and it gives your opponent more time to actually run over to you because then they'll know where you're actually going to land. Also with that, the best thing to do is just to do it as close to the stage as possible. When you're on, the closer you are to the ground, the better, because it just gives your opponent less time to actually react to that. You can use the directional air dodge to get back onto the ledge, and that's what you're going to see a lot of Snake players doing, and something that us Snake players should be doing if we're going to recover low. Otherwise, you can just, you know, hug the stage when you use your Cypher. The other two last things here are going to be back air and down air. So back air I would normally use if my opponent is chasing me off of the top of the stage, the top of the screen a lot. So you do a fast fall back air to beat them out. And it goes through some things too. You can hurry up and get out in time and try to beat your opponent to it as far as who's gonna go for the aerial first. And it does go through some projectiles as well. It goes through PK Thunder and Nikita, as long as they are going to target your bottom half, the bottom half of Snake's body. So pretty much like the waist down almost is where the hitbox is. So you can go through those things. Down air is another way you could land too. Now I never down air. I use down air if someone is trying to aim for me with the Nikita or PK Thunder, because down air would just get rid of that and knock it out the way. But as far as down air goes, you could land with down air. This hit stun animation that they have though, it doesn't actually put you in a plus animation to where you can do another move out of it and hit them first. It only works if your opponent is not expecting it. Now if you land with the down air and then they do a jab or something, it's gonna beat whatever you go with first, as long as, you know, their move comes out faster than yours. But if they're a slower character, then fast falling with down air leading into another tilt is not going to be all that bad as far as a different character like, let's say, Mennonite's jab or something like that, you know? Another thing I do want to mention is drifting. Now drifting is your movement of your Cypher and of course Snake as well. Most Snake players are going to obviously be drifting towards stage immediately and then ending up like right here, let's say. But if your opponent knows that, they're gonna look for it. It's better to just drift and end up in an area where you think would be safer. So you never want to keep doing the same thing as far as recovering goes. I would say the more you mix it up, the better. So again, if you're gonna drift and you keep drifting right, they're gonna wait for you and then get ready to actually punish you. So always be prepared to actually drift back a little bit. Same thing while you're holding the cipher. You don't always want to hold right. Sometimes you just want to go straight up and then move from there. Or sometimes you might want to go back a little bit and then air dodge back on stage or something. So again, those are some drifting areas that you may want to take advantage of and actually think about, because you don't want to get hit with a spike or something because you were going towards the stage like 90% of Snake players do. So make sure you mix that up as well. Alright, so this is a tier list I made on what characters you should be recovering high against, which you should be recovering low against, and which characters you could mix it up. You can go high or low between the two. You know, you just gotta kind of play it out. Some of these are pretty self-explanatory. Like I would recommend recovering high against Ivysaur, because recovering low is not good because they're down air and how much of the hitbox that is. I mean, up air and up B is scary, but I'd rather be able to be reverse and have an actual chance of getting out the way of that down air, in my opinion. But again, that's some of these. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because of how long the video is already, but you can kind of see what I think is going to work out. Again, as you can tell, I personally would say recovering high is the best thing to do. I personally choose to recover high. Some of these I listed as recovering high, even though they do have some scary up airs, but some of them are actually like linear, like Fox's up air or Falco's up air is pretty linear. So because of that, you can kind of get out the way. Palutena, you know, stuff like that. Shulk too, and Samus has an up B, but again, it's pretty linear. You can kind of fastball air dodge through it or B reverse and so on and so forth. The recovery low people I got is Inkling, I believe that's Robin and Ike and Robin specifically, because their aerials, such as their up airs, do a crap ton of knockback, so I would just rather recover low if anything. I don't remember why I have Inkling for recovering low. Probably their up air. But anyways, I hope this helps, guys. If you guys enjoy the content, again, please feel free to subscribe, follow me on Twitch and my other social media platforms in the comment section down below. If you'd like to add anything, please comment. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and have a great rest of your day.